Hi, welcome to the Blind Beggars edition of Eating Scripture, a response to this Sunday's Gospel in 4 minutes or fewer. I'm Drew Downs, your host. And this week is Proper 25b, and our text concludes Mark 10. Now, this story looks on the surface like just any old story of Jesus healing someone. It is not, right? First thing we ought to notice, and we need to notice, is that unlike all of those other stories throughout the 4 canonical Gospels, in which Jesus heals somebody, this is the only one that gets a name, the only person that gets a name. The only other person that is healed by Jesus with a name is Lazarus, who was already a buddy of Jesus's. So this guy gets a name, and that has to be tops on our list to stand out, right? Second thing is that he calls Jesus son of David. Now, David, remember, is the great king and unifier of the 2 kingdoms, Israel and Judah. And he placed Jerusalem as his capital. Now, the third thing we should notice is that the very next section is Jesus showing up in Jerusalem. Right? So connect those 2 dots, right? Son of David coming to Jerusalem. Now, one of the things that most people are probably going to preach on that last sequence in which they're chatting, right? Jesus asks, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the blind man said to him, "My teacher, let me see again." And Jesus said to him, "Go, your faith has made you well." So a whole bunch of people are going to be preaching about faith and healing and the great transformation that God or Jesus can do for us. That's probably what most people will preach, but I won't. Mostly because of that very first thing I mentioned. Bartimaeus has a name, right? And we get the clue to what's important about Bartimaeus by the last line, the line we're less likely to pay any attention to. It says, after saying, "Go, your faith has made you well," it says, "Immediately he regained his sight and followed him on the way." Those words "on the way" are incredibly important for us, right? Because that's how we saw and how they saw and how we describe Jesus' ministry. So not only does this guy suddenly get healed, and not only does he go about proclaiming the good news that Jesus offers, he becomes a disciple. He gets a name because he's a disciple now, and he's following Jesus as one. And that he's going to Jerusalem, like the other disciples, to face his eventual death. This, in fact, this has to be the central theme of this. So as we're sitting here preaching about faith and healing, there's something profound here about how we engage it. Right? That part about our being blind beggars, just like Bartimaeus, seeking what Jesus offers to us, and that healing is something much, much more important than physical healing. That in fact, it is about the total transformation of our lives and our purpose in life. For more, check out my site, drewdowns.net. So go, munch on it, and proclaim it. Peace.